Welcome to the GuthrieAmerica podcast. We sit down with the amazing people who do life in our community and who are from here, because I believe every story should be told. I'm your host, Heady Coleman. Today I'm sitting down with my friend, Cody Stewart. Before we jump into this conversation with Cody, would you please go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, all the things. It would mean a world to me. Also, I just want to give a really big shout out to a couple of people who make this episode possible. One of those people are my friend Kevin Kraft down there at State Farm. Thank you so much, Kevin. If you are looking for a good person to talk through life insurance, I say reach out to Kevin. But Kevin, him and his team take care of us with our automobiles, our house, life. My mom recently joined in, so it's always good to be able to partner with people that you actually do business with and you trust in. Not only that, we're friends. We go to lunch and we hang out and we eat and all the good stuff. So then also North Church Guthrie, we are recording in their facility, so thank you so much, North Church. North Church, the vision is this: every Sunday at the end of the experience, we say, love God, love people, follow Jesus. And I love to use the hashtag love your neighbor. So it all lines up. We're sharing the stories of the people because we want people to connect. I believe that as we get to know our neighbors, we love our neighbors. And so that's a part of the mission here. But thank you for that partnership, North Church Guthrie. Cody, how you living?
I'm doing great, man. I'm better than I deserve, for sure.
Yes, you're looking good.
I appreciate it.
You know, I remember when you first got braces, I just looked at your great smile and saw the braces. How long have you had them on, and what made you get braces as an adult?
Man, so first and foremost, money. Braces are expensive.
Good answer.
Yeah, money. But the other part of that question is, so whenever I was a teenager, or I guess like preteen, I didn't really take care of my teeth growing up, as I think most preteens don't.
Yep.
And one of my molars, I had a large cavity, like so large that they couldn't crown it or anything, so they just decided to pull it. Well, never did anything with it, and my wisdom teeth came in. I had plenty of room. Even if I had that molar that they pulled out, I still would have had room. And then, probably 2 years ago, my dentist started noticing that my wisdom tooth was pushing on my molar, and I had that space there, so those teeth were starting to fall. And so he's like, we're going to need to do something with that, or you're eventually going to lose those two teeth. And so, long story short, I tried clear aligners. They couldn't move my molars how I needed them to move. And then so I got recommended to an orthodontist. And I went in and I was going to get the gap widened and, get a implant put in, but implants are super expensive. And my orthodontist just said, if you were my son, I would just close the gap, because you got that third molar. It'll be a lot easier to just close that gap. And so, I was like, okay, we'll do that. You've been doing this longer than I've been alive, so let's do that.
Let's go with your recommendation.
And then I was like, since I'm going to be in braces, I might as well get everything else fixed, because I thought I had straight teeth until I got braces put on, but I also had a cross bite and an open bite. So I'm like, if I'm paying to be in braces, let's just fix everything. And so I got them put on September 27th of 2022. So it's been about a year and 8 months. And hopefully I can get them off soon, because after about a year and a half, I'm kind of over them. So
what's probably been something that you didn't think about having braces now that you have them?
You hear all the stories about how people say, don't eat candy, don't eat stuff. The biggest thing for me is like just any food in general. Like it just when you don't have braces, things get stuck in your teeth. Mm-hmm. But when you have braces, like things get stuck everywhere. And so just the maintenance with it, you already knew there was going to be some maintenance, but it's just so much more than you can even imagine.
Yeah.
And if you don't take care of your teeth, you can scar your teeth up and really cause a lot of damage. And so I've always been really good ever since, I got that tooth extracted. That was kind of like my wake up call. Like, hey, you need to take care of your teeth, man. You only get one set. And so I always took really good care of them from that point forward. And, and that just kind of carries over with braces. You just got to step it up a little bit more and, use a water flosser and, all sorts of stuff. And just do it more than twice a day. Basically, anytime you eat food, you gotta get everything.
Eat something.
Yeah. Anything.
Clean your teeth. And,
clean your teeth. Yeah. And, even drinking stuff like outside of water, whether it's tea or like I don't really drink soda or anything because I got ceramic brackets up top and they stain really easy. So I cut soda and energy drinks out leading up to that point. So I don't really have that issue. And, but I still like sweets and candy and stuff. So that's kind of hard. You kind of got to watch it or you'll pop a bracket off. But I haven't popped any brackets off. So
oh, wow.
I'm doing good. And every time I go in, my orthodontist and his assistants are like, your teeth are so clean. And they're like, well, most adults take care of their teeth, I'm not a teenager. So, but it's been a good experience, but
that's cool.
I'm ready to get them off.
I bet. One of the things too about braces is like once you do it, you think like I'm done but then don't you have to wear something at least at night?
Yeah.
For the rest of your life, or how does that work?
Yeah. So once I get my braces off, they'll do it's basically like a clear liner, but it's a retainer.
Okay.
And so every night that I got to go to bed, I have to put that in because your teeth just want to shift back to how they grew in.
Yeah.
And so if you don't do that, then you could be in braces again, but I'll be wearing that thing every night.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm thinking in my head, it might be better to get them as an adult when you got a little bit more discipline than a teenager. So, because if you don't do the right things from, let's say, like Zell has them, my son has them at 18.
Yeah.
I mean, now he has to try to manage that for the rest of his life to make sure he doesn't have to get braces again. But
yeah. And, I think a lot of kids, it's like, either insurance is covering it or their parents are paying for it. So when you're an adult and it's like coming out of your pocket and you see the amount of money that you're paying,
right?
It's like, it's an investment. It really is. And you can see a difference. So I think it's a different mindset when you're an adult versus a kid or a young adult. So.
For sure. Well, Cody, tell us how your families and friends would describe you.
Man,
I like to hear how you think people see you.
That's a good question. I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is loyal. I consider myself a very loyal person.
Yeah.
I'd probably say dependable, hardworking. And those are probably the three that just come to mind right off the top of my head. There's probably another one, but probably trustworthy too. Yeah. That's probably the other one.
Yeah. Yep. I would probably describe you in those words as well, since, I don't know everyone that's come over here as well as I know you, but that's good.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your family.
Just, like Sam or like my brothers and stuff.
Yeah. Just
so,
like who you live with, like the family, whatever you want to share. Just tell us a little bit about.
I'll give you a quick background. Like I'm the youngest of three. I got two older brothers, and but me and Sam, we've been together for a while. We started dating like 19 years ago, and coming up on 17 years married. Coming up in October, so. We got married young, so yeah.
Where'd you ask her to marry you at? Was it like one of those cool things, or was it like, it wasn't nothing big?
No, so we were already living together like before we got married. So I just wanted to be different. So you hear all these stories about people doing all this romantic stuff. I'm not a romantic guy, so. So I thought that I would take the ring that I got to ask her to marry me. Like we had this big, like in our kitchen, we had this big whiteboard. It was like a calendar or whatever. And so it had a spot to where you could put like a push pin in or whatever. And so I hung the ring on that, and I just wrote on the board, "Will you marry me?" And I was like, I'm going to see how long it takes for her to notice. Just because I want to be different and I'm weird like that. And it took about 4 hours. And, every time she like walked in the dining room and kitchen, I was like nearby because, I didn't want to miss that moment, Yeah. And then, about, 3 or 4 hours later, she's like, oh my God, and so I was there for that moment. And so, yeah.
That's cool.
It worked out.
Did you record it or anything?
No, I mean, cause that was back before cell phones were super popular.
That's right.
It's not like now, but I mean, that was 2006 when I asked her to marry me, and we started dating in 2005. So Didn't really think about it, but yeah, it was cool. And I don't know anybody else that's done that. So
that is pretty unique. I ask most people that question when they get on. I have not heard that one before.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever told anyone that either. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
4 hours. So were you like, did you just hover around her?
No, I just, like whenever she would go in there, I would just pay more attention because I knew it was going to be like, oh my goodness, or, however she reacted.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind right there by the refrigerator. And it was in big letters, will you marry me? And the ring was just kind of hanging up right there next to it. So I didn't expect her to find it right away, which is kind of the point.
Yeah, right.
It was just me being, weird and different and seeing how long it would take. Now, if it was like a day later, I didn't have a backup plan. So I was like, hopefully she finds it soon. If not, I'm going to be like, hey, there's something up here. Like
that would have been funny. It took her 7 weeks to find the thing. Never looked at it or anything.
Yeah. I probably would have just let it go. I tried to ask her to marry me, and then like a month later, I finally just had to get down on one knee. So yeah, it'd be funny.
So were y'all in high school together? When did y'all meet? How did y'all meet?
Yeah, so the first time I met Sam, we rode the same bus. We were on the same bus route. I lived in a different part of town than she did in Guthrie. And then so we picked them up. I was like the first or second stop, and then we went into their neighborhood and picked them up. So I originally met her on the school bus, and just kind of friends, or just seen each other over the years. She moved to Texas at one point, and then moved back and stuff like that. So yeah, we really connected just on a school bus, and I've known her since like 5th grade. So
oh wow,
kind of cool.
That is cool. Tell me, do you all have you and Sam, or just you? Maybe you go by yourself? Because we have a lot of parades around here. Mm-hmm. And so I was just wondering, I like to ask people, do you all have a parade spot?
Yeah, anywhere there's shade. Because you know how the parade is. It'll be raining sometimes, it'll be cloudy, or it'll be 90 and sunny. Yeah. So we used to go to the parade all the time. Hadn't been in the last few years. But yeah, we typically try to pick a place because, along that parade route, it's going to be busy, so you're going to be around people, but typically try to find an area that has like a shade tree or something. Just sure. If not, just something. Yeah, just something to get you out of the direct sunlight. But just anywhere that has shade. Yeah,
no, that is so true. So out of the parades, and I don't know if you ever thought about this, do you have a favorite one? Like if there's a parade that you're definitely going to go to, if you're going to go to one, which one is it?
Like in Guthrie?
Yeah, in Guthrie.
Yeah, probably 89ers.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
And like people from all over the state come to that. So you get to see a lot of different organizations and people that you may not see outside of that parade. So that's always been very interesting to me to see who shows up, like what bands show up, like, the different horses and whatever. So it's just, definitely that one.
I remember, I feel like this is true. I may be telling a story. You tell me, did you all used to get out of school on Fridays for 89er weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then go to the carnival and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to remember exactly what time we got out. It was maybe around
like 1 or noon or something like that.
I feel like we got out earlier. It was like 10 or 10:30, just so we would have time to get to the parade.
Yeah.
And we used to just walk, I mean, until you were old enough to drive.
Yeah.
Or you had a buddy that had a car or something.
Because that was for the homecoming parade, right? That they would let us out early, and it was 89ers on Saturday. I think it was homecoming.
Yeah, homecoming. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
homecoming.
89ers is Saturday. So the homecoming parade. Yeah, we definitely got out early for that.
So we would always get so excited about the carnival coming because it was just a big, and it's moved so many different times. The carnival, like where they would put it at, has moved so many different times. And I don't know where my favorite spot was. I feel like I used to love it when it was down on Harrison and 2nd Street, just because we lived right there on Vilas and 2nd Street. So it was just like right there. So you could see it from our yard, right?
Yeah.
And but did you have a favorite carnival ride? Did you do the carnival rides?
Yeah, I did them growing up. I'm a bit of a thrill seeker, so anything that would
feel
I don't
dangerous.
know. Yeah, anything that would throw me around or make my stomach flop or something like that. Yeah, I mean, because obviously there wasn't like roller coasters or anything.
Right, no.
But anything that would take you up and spin you around, I
Yes.
liked it. So
the zipper, I feel like, was always the craziest one.
Yeah.
The zipper. Then there was the one that, like, I think you stood up in, and then it would just.
yeah, it was like a spaceship or
Yeah.
something.
Why would you? It just was built to make you throw up or get you sick. You know.
I like that one too because I just like the fact that you couldn't
move. Yeah,
like you would try to lift your head up and just like suck it back.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, if you had a large mill and you went on there, it probably wouldn't turn out good.
That's right. Yeah, you was gonna throw that up. Now you said you're a thrill seeker. Like, is there anything that's been the craziest thing you've done to kind of be, or a roller coaster or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I mean, nothing too crazy that comes to my mind. I mean, I've always wanted to skydive and stuff. I just haven't done that. I mean, that's what I mean by that. We went to the Grand Canyon one year and, we went to the West Rim. And I mean, I was just like standing on the edge and it's like a 2,000-foot drop and Sam's like freaking out. And she's like, I'm going over here. Like, I can't watch you. And I didn't feel like it was an unsafe distance, but she was nervous.
Yeah, there's no way in the world. I'm with Sam. Sam, I'm with you if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way in the world that I'm going to. I keep kicking my thing here. Get it back there. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to stand on the edge of any. No, I can't even stand driving up. When you start driving the mountain and then the drop is right here.
Yeah,
that just bothers me.
Man, I love it. Like, we drove to the top of Pikes Peak last summer.
See, I'm getting shit like, no, my whole body just.
Well, I drove because Sam doesn't really like that stuff. And, me being in control of that, I like doing that stuff. And I mean, it was cool. I mean, and I didn't stop. It was like 45 minutes straight to the top. And it's amazing.
Didn't bother you at all?
No, I loved it.
Oh my. Right now, I'm feeling that, ladies and gentlemen. So you've come to my house and we've done the Oculus, right?
Yeah.
And it takes you up. Did you walk straight out?
Yeah, I pretty much walked straight out, but man, that's a weird feeling. Like when the elevator opens up and you're like just looking out, like, I mean, I was kind of hesitant because you have that feeling like it's really happening, obviously. But yeah, I walked straight out, and then when it hit, you're like, oh my goodness, like. But I don't think it freaked me out as much as it did other people, because if you remember, Sam's like, oh no.
Oh, I've never done it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never done it. I went up and saw it, but I've never walked out.
Yeah, but that's crazy how. It's like you're jumping out of a building.
And you're standing on the ground. Like, I'm in my house, and it just feels so. Yeah. But yeah, I've never, nope. Yeah. I'm not doing it. I mean, I love watching people do it.
It's funny, that's for sure.
It is so funny. Especially the people who feel like they need to overcome it and try to walk out there anyway. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's an Oculus game. I bet you could probably search it on YouTube, and somebody has a great example. But you just kind of you're in this virtual world, go up to the top of a 100-story building, and then when you open up the elevator, it's like you're seeing as though you're at the top of this building, and then it has a ledge that you walk out on, and it's pretty scary to me.
It reminded me of like the whole pirate thing, like walking the plank, out into the ocean, but you're doing it off of a skyscraper.
Yeah, which is just crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So I want to do this. I want to go back to schools, okay? And we're going to do some trivia with this, all right? Okay?
All right.
And when we're doing this trivia, you're going to tell me, the questions are, what street are these schools on? And so you tell me what street the schools are on, and then you tell me the thing that you remember most about that school, okay?
All right.
You tell me whatever, okay? Yeah. So what street is Central Elementary on?
Central is on Noble.
Noble. Do you remember anything about Central? What grade was that for you?
So when I moved to Guthrie, the first school that I was at Fogarty. I was in 3rd grade, so I didn't go to Cotterill or Central.
Gotcha.
So
you remember nothing about it.
I remember nothing about those schools.
Do you remember nothing about Central or Cotterill? Do you know what street Cotterill's on, though?
Well, yeah. What street is that? Oh, I'm trying to remember the road. I mean, it's off of, Highway 33 or
Yeah.
Noble, but I can't remember the street that you turn on.
No, that the address is a Noble address.
Oh, is it a Noble address?
Yeah,
Okay.
So you're
Yeah.
correct. You're
Okay.
2 out of 2 so far.
Come on.
All right, here's the next one. So you went to Fogarty.
Went to Fogarty.
What street is it on?
I believe that's Wentz.
Nice.
Wentz?
3 out of 3.
Come on.
Do you remember anything about Fogarty?
Yeah.
Was the first school you went to?
Yeah. So me and my family, we moved to Guthrie like February of '96. And so I only went to Fogarty for like 3 months. But the first thing that I remembered about Fogarty was like, man, I'm in 3rd grade and I got a locker because it was the old junior high. And so I like felt so cool, It's like I got a locker and I'm in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. It's like, obviously you don't have lockers in an elementary school. So
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool. All right. So you're 3 out of 3. What street? Okay. So you didn't go to these 2 schools. So we got 2 more schools that you didn't go to. But let's just see if you know. Do you know what street Favor is on? Wait, did you go to Favor? No, because by then,
Yeah, I didn't go to Favor.
you just go to Guthrie up Elementary.
I went to Guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What street is Favor on?
Man, I don't know. I can't even venture to guess.
Favor is on Perkins.
Perkins.
And
Okay.
just a little history, if you don't know, Favor is where I went to 6th grade at, and Favor is where my mom. So my mom was a freshman in high school. I think she went 1 year to Favor before she transitioned to Guthrie High School. So all right, so we okay. The next school is Guess. So right now you are 3 and 2. Okay, you got 3 right, 2 wrong. Whereas Guest, what street is it on?
So, odd little note that I wanted to mention about Favor. I used to have football practice in junior high at Favor. So, I know that field very well behind it.
Yeah, you know the field. You just didn't remember
Yeah.
what street it's on.
Yeah.
Did you walk there every day?
No, they bust us over there.
They bust you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so Guess is on Crooks Drive.
Crooks Drive. What do you remember about Guess?
I remember thinking after leaving Fogarty and going to Guess, I'm like, man, this school's really nice. not that Fogarty wasn't, just Fogarty was old.
It was an upgrade. You was like, yeah.
It was an upgrade. And I was like, man, and it was a big school, I don't know how they do it now, but we had 4th, 5th, and 6th there when I was in school. Each of the wings were a different grade. So I was just like, man, this is cool. This is a big, nice school, and just really liked it. So
yeah, that's good. Okay. So right now you are 4 out of 2. Wait, 4 out of 6. You got 4 out of 6 right. Here we go. The next school. What street is Guthrie Junior High on?
is it Harrison?
Nope. You want to take another
It's
shot?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I always get those 2 mixed up. Yeah.
We're not giving you that one. Yeah. Actually, you know what? You're now 5 out of you're 4 out of 1 because what street is Charter Oak on? I never mentioned Charter Oak.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what. Isn't that? I'm trying to remember. Isn't that Douglas out there? Douglas, and then I can't remember the road. I've only been out there a handful of times, so.
No, you know what street it's on.
Do I?
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
Charter Oak.
Oh, well, I guess it is Charter Oak. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Now you're 5 out of 2. Okay.
It's kind of in the name. So I got Favor and Charter Oak wrong.
5 out of 7. Okay.
Yeah.
So we talked about gas. We've done. So we got to junior high. What was your favorite thing about junior high? What are the things you remember about junior high?
Man, I was super nervous to go to the junior high.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, man, this is like when it's getting serious, it's junior high. The elementary days are over.
Yeah.
And then, I started playing sports too. So I was nervous about that, and, nervous about going to school, to a big kid school, and nervous about playing sports and so stuff like that. But it was good. I had a good time, and yeah, it was good.
For you, did you just like to play sports, or were you like a sports fanatic, like watching sports and things like that? Because I know your brother's a sports fanatic.
Yeah.
Were you a sports fanatic and you also just play sports, or you just like, I just like to play sports. I don't watch it and all that?
Yeah, so growing up, I just wanted to play sports. Like I just wanted to move. I just wanted to get outside. And growing up, I always thought, man, I'm going to play in the NFL one day.
Okay.
And so I didn't really play little league sports, just because like we grew up like kind of poor. My parents just that wasn't in the budget. And that was fine. So waited until I got to junior high. Some school funded stuff, and just really took a liking to football and everything about it and stuff like that. And I just really I don't think it was like like hitting people. I don't think it was that.
Yeah.
I just think I just wanted to play football, and so I started playing in 7th grade and just really liked it. So
yeah, that's good. What street is Guthrie High School on?
So that's probably a Wentz address, or is it a Crooks Drive? I don't know.
Which one are you going with? What's your final answer there?
It's probably Crooks Drive.
Yeah!
Is it? I kind of figured. I didn't know.
It is Crooks Drive, but you're correct though. Like I don't know how they determine addresses. Like I always thought it was like whatever the front door faced, the street that faced.
That's kind of what I was
Because it would be Wentz if that was the case.
Yeah.
Unless the front door changed over the years. I don't know. But
Yeah,
it's Crooks
I don't know
Drive.
how they come up with that.
Yeah, I don't know how they come up. That's a great question, though. I'm gonna figure that out.
You're going to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the things that you enjoyed most about outside of? What did you enjoy most about high school? Guthrie High School.
What I enjoy most about high school, man, I don't know. Like high school was different for me. Like I went through some different phases in high school. So, I enjoyed it, but I stopped playing football my freshman year, and then I started playing again my senior year. And so it was kind of a weird time for me, but I enjoyed high school, the different years and stuff. And the main thing that I enjoyed was, it's when I started dating my wife.
Yeah, baby. Okay. This one's called Phone a Friend. Okay. We're now transitioning to Phone a Friend. All right. This could be anybody. This could be your wife or whatever, whoever. Okay.
Yeah.
So, who is one teacher in high school that you think if you called a friend right now, they would mention that same teacher?
I don't think there's any chance that anybody outside of my wife would be able to answer that question.
Okay.
And I've had that conversation with her multiple times, and there's 2 of them. So.
Okay. Pick one and phone your wife.
Okay.
Wait, tell us who it is.
Okay. So it would be Joy Cleaver. She was my senior English teacher.
Okay. So this is the way you're going to phrase the question. Honey, who is one teacher that you probably would think that I would mention in this podcast episode?
All right.
In high school. From high school.
All right.
You got to put on speakerphone.
Yeah, I will.
We do want to acknowledge to her as soon as she answers that she's on speakerphone.
Yeah, you're on speakerphone and we are recording.
And kind of hold it up to your mic when you.
I will.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to find out if she even answers. Oh.
Hello.
Hey, honey. So some context here. You're on speakerphone, and I'm in the middle of the podcast, but I have to ask you a question.
We are playing Phone a Friend right now. Phone a Friend. Go ahead.
So who is one teacher from school that I would probably mention that was probably my favorite? Just one. Who's one of them?
David Duke.
Oh!
Who's the other one?
Joey Cleaver.
Yeah!
Remember I told you there were 2.
You said there was 2.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
thank you so much, Sam.
bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
So tell us about who she say, David?
David Duke.
Duke.
So he was my geometry teacher my junior year, and that man, he was just like so chill and just so laid back. And he was just a great teacher. He was super chill.
Yeah.
And he loves Snickers. For those of you listening, if you know David Duke that taught geometry at the high school, he was a Snickers fanatic.
David Duke, he definitely wasn't there when I was there. I don't know that name. Like thinking about high school though, transition out is always a big part of people's story. Like most people kind of remember like, because it's one of those times in your life where you're trying to think through like, what I'm going to do next, all that thing. What is the thing that you remember most about transitioning out of high school?
Man, so transitioning out of high school, I was nervous because I didn't know what I really wanted to do. I knew that I did not want to go to college. That was not in the works for me, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do per se. And so I just started working. And that was pretty much it. I didn't really have a plan. I just knew, got to get a job, got to make money. Nothing's free in this world. So I just started working, and I started unloading trucks at Walmart in Edmond. So I did that for about 1 year and 8 months.
Okay.
And so that's what I did right out of high school. And so, yeah.
Wow. You was on the dock, I guess. Is that
Yeah. We were general merchandise unloaders. And so we unloaded all the general merchandise, basically anything other than grocery. Although we did get some grocery items.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So this next thing is called You Pick. And so you can either answer it or say pass. Okay. You can either answer it or say pass. Well, what's your favorite social media platform?
Facebook.
Yeah. Do you do any of the other ones?
No, not really. I mean, no, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a TikTok account, but I don't have Instagram and what is it, Twitter or X now? I don't do any of that. So yeah, probably Facebook, just because I've been on it for like 20 years.
Facebook, are you one of those people like if somebody, I do this all the time now. If somebody mentions somebody and I'm like, no, I don't think I know them, and you go straight to Facebook just to see if you can see them, to be like, oh no, I do know them.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I've met a lot of people over the years, and the name doesn't always stick, and I'll just be like, well, the face with the name doesn't stick. And so I'll be like, I know the name, but if I can see them, and so most of the time I do know them.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way,
Yeah. Okay. Again, you pick. You can either pass or answer. Do you have a book you most suggest to others?
We'll just pass on that one.
Gotcha. How do you find inspiration in the work you do or in general?
How do I find inspiration? I just think that I always want to do a good job, so that inspires me. I always want to go above and beyond of what's expected of me in my role, no matter what that is. And so that's just kind of how I inspire myself. I just want to be the best that I can be, no matter what I'm doing.
That's good. I like that. Last person that made you laugh or smile outside of today, right now. Outside of right now. It could be today, but outside of right now.
The last person, probably my wife, just because that's who I spend the most time with. And I'm always acting goofy with her. So
easy answer.
Yeah.
What's one thing on your bucket list?
On my bucket list?
Yeah, that you haven't checked off.
Probably skydiving.
Okay.
Or bungee jumping or something like that. Like I said,
there's no way in the world I'm bungee jumping nothing. Would you bungee jump above water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they do it like other places, like outside. I mean,
yeah, no way in the world. There's no way. I might would bungee jump over water.
Yeah.
There's no way in the world I'm bungee jumping over concrete.
Or rocks or whatever.
Rocks. If I cannot go through it and still live, no way in the world.
Yeah, so
bungee jump, that's fun though.
Yeah, bungee jumping, skydiving, stuff like that. Just
What's something that was on your bucket list that you've done? Do you have?
Just travel. I love to travel. Haven't had an opportunity to do a whole lot of it. Didn't really travel growing up, but as an adult, we've taken some pretty awesome trips. Just like to see different parts of the country and something outside of GuthrieAmerica, something that looks different.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
ladies and gentlemen, again, I do know Cody a little bit, and let me just say, I would definitely define them as travelers. Anybody that you can call, you're like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "We're going to Dallas for lunch." Now, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, you probably know Guthrie to Dallas is 4 hours. Okay, him and his wife, I call them. They're saying, "We're going to Dallas for lunch." Yeah, you like to travel. You like to get out and see some things, which is cool.
Just something different.
Yeah. Okay. You get to pick, pass or answer. What's one hidden talent you possess?
Pass.
Okay. If you could be any animal, what would it be?
Any animal. Man, that's a great question. I'm just trying to think of all the animals and like how cool it would be to be an animal. I don't know, man. Maybe a dolphin or something in the ocean that you could just.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
I'm sure it's amazing to just be out in the open water and be able to swim and do all that. I mean,
and see all the stuff that's happening. Yeah,
it's
the
like
deep sea or whatever.
But yeah, dolphins are fast swimmers, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And they can jump so high, like you call. Did you call that jumping when they?
Yeah, I guess so. You're coming out of the water.
Okay, here we go. You pick, pass or answer. What's the weirdest food you've ever eaten?
The weirdest? I'm probably going to make people very mad with this, but Indian food. I am not an Indian food person.
Yeah.
We went to a buffet one time years ago, and I was so disappointed. It's not my thing. I'm a Italian and Mexican type guy, but yeah, Indian food, that's some weird food. I didn't warm up to it one bit.
He's like, pass. I'm
hard pass.
Hard pass. Yeah, I can't do very many different, I can't do
different cultures and stuff.
Foods, But I kind of envy, I don't know if that's the right word, admire maybe. Let's say I admire people who can. Like people who can eat anything. Like my mom will taste anything. I'm like, oh my goodness, no.
I mean, I'll try stuff, but I mean, at least once, and then I know, I don't like that. I figured there'd be some options since it was a buffet. I didn't like any of those options.
2 more questions on pick. You pick. You can pass or answer. If you could write a note to your younger self, what would you say?
Man, there's so much I would say, but I'll keep it short and sweet. I would say be financially fit. Start saving at a young age. Because, I want to retire early. I don't want to work until I'm 80. I want to retire at a decent age to where I can travel and stuff. So I'll just tell myself, man, don't spend every dollar you make. Save it, invest it.
That's good. I like that. Last one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is you pick. He gets to pass or answer. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Man, these are some deep questions. The best piece of advice I've ever received, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind that just right off the top is just be yourself.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole bunch of people in this world. Just be yourself. You have your own personality. Just do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of other things, but that's the first thing that came to my mind.
That's the one.
Yeah, just be yourself.
That's good. Thank you so much. One of the things coming out of that I wanted to ask you about is and I feel like we talked about what inspires you, but I feel like you also have a heart to inspire others. And just following you on social media, I know that you often post quotes or scripture or anything like that. Where does that come from for you?
Really, and here lately I've kind of slacked off of that. I don't know why, but I do enjoy that. But really, all that stuff's for me. It's great reminders for me, and I know it's a platform that other people can see it.
Yeah.
But it's really me talking to myself, saying, whatever that quote is, or I'm in the Word every day reading the Bible. So when something really convicts me, or I feel like that needs to be shared, I share it. Because Facebook has memories, and it's amazing to look back on your memories. And I feel like it's a roadmap to where your life was at that time. So yeah, it's really just for me. And, but I know that I have a chance to, inspire others with that.
Yeah.
But it's really just for me and, motivating me.
That's good.
So yeah,
that's good. All right. This next one is called Top 5. Okay. Top 5. So I'm going to give you, this is going to be top 5 foods. So I'm going to give you 5 foods, and you have to rank them 1 through 5.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing, though. I'm going to give you the first one, and you got to put it somewhere, and it has to stay there.
I already know how this is going.
It stays there, okay?
Okay.
All right, let me get myself ready over here. Top 5 foods. The first one, that I'm going to mention is grilled chicken. Where is it at on 1 to 5?
Grilled chicken.
1 being the greatest.
Let's do 5.
Okay. The next one is chicken strips.
4.
4?
A lot of chicken in here.
Those are 2 different chickens, though, for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Pizza.
Number 1.
Okay, you sure?
I'm sure.
You got 2 more.
That's my favorite pizza. That's
Okay.
my favorite food.
All right.
Yeah.
Pasta.
Ooh, 3.
Burgers.
2.
You only got 1 spot left. All
Come
right.
on. Come on.
So this is the way that I had them lined up.
Yeah.
So I had burgers 1, pasta 2. Let me say this. This is how Google had them lined up.
Oh, okay.
So this is, I guess, like.
I gotcha. Yeah.
This is, so burgers was 1, pasta was 2, pizza was 3, chicken strips was 4,
Gotcha.
grilled chicken was 5. So like I was like, oh my goodness, he's gonna like have this.
Do it just like
He is truly whoever Google research or whatever as he's
Yeah.
about to hit this on the head.
Yeah.
It's all right. That's your top 5. I'm gonna save that so I can have that for our history. This
on.
next one is either or. All right, either or. I need to find a different name for this one. Either or. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Really? You're not a coffee drinker. That's right.
I'm not a coffee drinker. I love the smell of coffee, and the tea has to be sweet. There has to be a ton of sugar. So I don't really drink a whole lot of tea because I'm trying to stay away from sweets. So yeah,
Early bird or night owl?
man, I'm a night owl through
Yeah.
and through.
Yeah. Like is like night owl like 2, 3 or night owl like 11, 12?
Oh, like 2, 3 for
Yeah, okay.
sure. Yeah.
Because I be asking some people, you a night owl? They be like, yeah, I'm up till 11 or 12. I'm like, I don't know if that's a night owl. That's like regular
I'm just
bedtime.
getting started at 11.
That's how my wife is. I look at her and be like, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
But she's like gearing up at 10 something. I'm like, it's just going up from here.
Yeah, for
no,
sure.
I'm good. Beach vacation or mountain retreat?
Man, I love going to the beach, but the mountains, boy,
That's your jam.
yeah, I love mountains.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs. I'm allergic to cats. I like cats, but they make me sneeze a lot.
Yeah. Netflix binge or reading a book?
Netflix for sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is either or that we're doing right now. Either or, sweet or savory?
Sweet.
City life or countryside?
Man, so I was born in the city, but Guthrie, it's city and kind of country. So, I don't consider myself a city guy. So I would just say country life, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Because I think there's city life, countryside, or small town. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
you get throw small town, and I
Yeah.
think it's a little different.
Yeah.
Introvert or extrovert?
man, so I'm a little bit of both. I can turn it on when I need to, but I'd say I'm an introvert for sure.
Yeah, you lean more into that.
Yeah,
then.
I lean into that more, but
Yeah.
I can mingle with the best of them.
Yeah, but is that a like, oh man, let me get myself ready, or you can naturally just come into a room and feel?
I think it depends on the environment.
Yeah,
Like if I'm at church or like an event where I know people, I can turn it on. But if I go into a room where it's like all strangers, I'm just like, nope. I'll go sit over here by myself. So it really depends on the environment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Winter or summer? I know the answer.
Anything other than summer is the correct answer here.
Yeah, there's like we get through summer, we're like, yes. Cody and I have talked about that many times.
Yeah.
Classic rock or pop music?
Man, classic rock all the way.
Really?
Oh,
Favorite?
yeah.
Who's some of your favorites?
Man, so my favorite band of all time, and you will know this because the shirt that I wear sometimes, AC/DC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm a huge AC/DC fan. I grew up, my dad listened to AC/DC growing up, and I just listened to the old classic rock and stuff that my parents listened to growing up. So
Yeah.
that's my jam.
That's good. Physical book or ebook?
Physical book. I like to turn those pages.
Yeah. Man, I'm really struggling. Like right now, I'm reading physical books, but I'm like, it would be just so much easier to have this on the iPad. You know, because I don't have to carry the books with me. Because right now I'm carrying 3 books with me, and like I'm really struggling with that right now. I've actually thought about going to get a Kindle today, just because I'm like, trying to carry, because I'm carrying 2 bags, my book, or maybe it's a different backpack is what I need. Calling or texting?
Man, so this is the millennial coming out in me. I've leaned more towards texting, but I mean, used to, back before texting, I'm old enough to remember that back before texting, you just make a phone call. You can get so much more accomplished in a 1-minute phone call than you can texting back and forth.
True.
But I mean, some things just need to be a text message. Like you don't have to call for every little thing. So I lean more towards texting. So
cooking at home or dining out?
I love eating at home, but I love dining out too. But if you're cooking at home, you can't blame anybody when the food's messed up, but who prepared it at the house. So I like both, but I love eating at the house.
Adventure or relaxation?
Man, that's another one that just kind of goes hand in hand. But if I had to pick, I would just say chilling at the house, relaxing. But I love going on adventures too. So
I don't know if it's the older I get or what, but man, chilling at the crib is just like, do we gotta do any, like,
yes,
I don't mind hanging out if I don't have to do any work or whatever, but it feels like in my life, everything's like, if I'm showing up for something, there's some work involved. So movies or TV shows?
I would say movies.
I
mean, these are some good questions. Like I feel like, obviously they go hand in hand. But I kind of like both. But if I had to pick, I would say movies. A good movie is, 2-3 hours and you're done with it. TV shows are just kind of drug out and they leave you hanging. It's like, so all right.
I was about to say, and now Netflix has kind of messed it up for, like, even with TV shows, now you can just binge watch them all.
Oh yeah.
And so it's kind of like, chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla for sure.
Sneakers or dress shoes?
Oh man, sneakers. Well, really flip flops, but sneakers.
That's what I was about to say. Really flip flops?
Yeah.
Action movies or comedies?
Oh man, I would say action. I love comedies though, but if I'm picking action for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Art gallery or music concert?
Music concert.
Yeah. Like, is art gallery even a thing for you?
Not art gallery, but I mean, I have a huge respect for the arts, just like live theater and stuff like that. But like, I don't go to many art deals, but you
can appreciate it. You understand it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely.
Historical fiction or sci-fi?
Oh, historical.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was either or. Good job. Let's give it up for Cody and that. I need to figure out, do I call them segments or what are these different things called? But I think this is so much fun.
Segment.
Segment. All right. So what, now this, I was thinking about this because you've been married how long? 17 years?
October will be 17 years.
Yeah, 17 years. Yeah. And I was thinking, like, oftentimes people are listening and either thinking about marriage, want to get married, whatever, but there's always dating that's happening. So in dating can be, I'm dating to be, to discover if this is the person I'm going to be with the rest of my life, or it could be I'm married and I'm dating because I want to keep this person for the rest of my life, right? Like getting to know each other. What would be the best dating advice that you would give?
The best dating advice? I think just look for someone who you, who that you just have a good time with.
Yeah.
And that it just comes natural. Like, don't try to force anything. I'm just trying to think back on my experience, dating and stuff, just let it come naturally. If it's meant to be, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. So
yeah.
Sometimes that happens, but just let it come naturally. And if you have a good time with that person, chances are you're going to have a good time with them for the rest of your life or however long that is.
If you can have a good time with them, you probably can keep having more good times with them, right? Like,
if it's a good conversation every time you get around them, then chances are it's going to be in your favor and their favor as well.
Yeah, for sure. Earlier you talked about maybe one day playing in the NFL, and of course we know that is the chances of that is so hard, right?
Yeah.
But you become an adult, you start trying to figure out what's next for your life. And I know that you now have a career that you kind of landed in the field.
Yeah.
Like, tell me some things that you enjoy most about your work, and tell us about the work that you do.
So for about the last decade or so, I've been in the HVAC field. And for those of you that don't know, that's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. That's what the acronym stands for. But yeah, so for about 10 years, I was on the warehouse side of things. You know, I ordered supplies and just made sure that the company that I worked for at the time was stocked up with supplies and that the guys could go out and do their jobs and you know, everything that comes along with that, logistics, inventory management, and all those good things. And here recently, I switched to a different company, and now I'm on the commercial side of things, whereas the last job I was on the residential side of things. So now I'm a project coordinator dealing with, you know, all sorts of projects within the commercial space on the HVAC side. So, it's not a career that whenever I was younger that I was even on my radar.
Yeah.
It's just something that, you know, I don't want to say it just kind of fell into my lap, but like one of my best friends was doing it and, you know, thought I'd, you know, be good in that field. And I started in that field, and then I got out of that field about a month later. And then, you know, probably 6 months later, I went back into that field in a different role. And, you know, it's, you know, been over 10 years now. And so it's kind of crazy. Just everything that you can learn in that industry that doesn't pertain to, you know, just, you know, technician work or, you know, installation work. There's it's a broad scope in that industry. So.
Yeah, and I think too, like sometimes people think that they're interested in something and they only see it they've only seen it in one phase, and then they get in there like, well, maybe that I didn't like that, but it's like, well, you may be interested in that field, but maybe just not that specific thing. Yeah. And that's a great example of that, because you started out as maybe potentially being a journeyman, right? And
so I was doing installs.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, it's like the same stuff every day. And you know, I like to have a new challenge, you know, and I just didn't really feel challenged in that. So I made the decision to, you know, not do that, you know,
Yeah.
and it worked out. I mean, I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. And I feel like this is a path that was carved out for me outside of just me or my talents. Cause back then I didn't know the talents that I had, you know? And so, but luckily for me, at both companies and both positions that I'm in, to a certain degree, I've been able to kind of build out my position.
Yeah.
So I've been really blessed in that aspect. So I'm super thankful for that. And it's allowed me to grow into what I'm doing now. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it's been cool to be able to see you and your journey to the degree that I've been able to do that. Tell me the favorite thing about your wife, Sam. What's your favorite thing about Sam?
Man, let me think here. No, the favorite thing for me is her smile. She's just so positive, and I mean, she can light up a room when she walks into it. So I just love the energy that she has and just what she brings to other people. Yeah, because she's so selfless and just wants to give to other people and just be a light in any room. So I love that about her. She's just so positive and upbeat.
That's good. That's good. All right, so 2 more questions. One of the hashtags, actually, it's in the chamber like tagline. It says where community wins. What does community wins mean to you?
Community wins to me means when all the people inside of that community, or a majority of those people inside of that community, are doing business and like attending community events and stuff like that. When you're involved at some point, it doesn't have to be in everything, just something, you know, whether you're shopping local or you go to a parade or you go to Red Brick Nights or, you know, whatever that looks like for you. I feel like if most people are doing that inside of a community, the community as a whole is going to be strong and they're going to win.
Yeah. Good. What does choose Guthrie mean to you?
I think it goes hand in hand with community wins. Yeah. Just choosing to do life here.
Yeah.
I mean, just, you know, go to Red Brick Nights, eat at a local restaurant, you know, go grocery shopping here.
Yeah.
go to the Pollard Theater.
Yeah.
Watch a play. Just do something like that. Just choose Guthrie.
Making it a priority.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really good. Thank you so much, Cody. Cody, any final words to close us out?
Man, I appreciate you having me on today. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to listening back to it.
Yeah, we did a lot of first time things today. We hadn't always done it this way, and just looking at different ways to help get people's stories out and make it fun at the same time. And so thank you so much for being with us today, Cody.
My pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I so appreciate you hitting that play button for another episode of the Guthrie America podcast. Hey, we're on a mission to have every story told of the people doing life here in Guthrie America and who are from here. And the question that I love to end with is, will yours be next?